Hello, and welcome to Sunspiration. Sunspiration is inspiration from the Holy Bible. As the name goes, Sunday and inspiration, which comes together as Sunspiration. I dig in the Bible every Sunday and I just get some inspiration to fire you up for the week. It's a special one today because today is Valentine's Day, but actually every Sunspiration is special. Carrying on our theme of love for the month of February, I'm looking powerfully at that topic because February, I can say, is the month of love. And I'm just going to carry on. When Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandment? He said, is love the Lord thy God. And that was the first one he said. And the second one was love your neighbor as yourself. But that leaves me asking the question, before you love your neighbor, that means you have to love yourself. And you might be wondering, who is this yourself he's talking about? And that's why today I'll be asking the question of who are you? But before you answer the question of who are you, I want to answer the question that says, who are you now? I was listening to a great preacher. When he asked that question, who are you now? I was blown away because I've always asked that question, who am I? But adding now to it changes and shifts the perspective very, very powerfully. But what makes a difference when you add now to it? Because who you were yesterday should not be the same person you are today. Or who you were last year in the 2020 should not be the same person you are in the year 2021. So regularly when you ask yourself the question, who am I now? There should be a different answer to that question. But why? Because we are continually growing. But what is growth will be another question I'll be asking you. I believe the Bible even says, as a man thinketh, so he is. So true growth is not physically. It's not the building the muscles or growing taller or even growing shorter sometimes. It is about your mind, how you're growing your mental state. And I think that is one of the most important things in growth. Because as you think, so you are. So being big inside doesn't mean anything. It's when you open your mouth and what comes out of it. That is where everything changes. So the question is, who are you now? But I'll just give you some practical ways you can measure who you are now. But who you might be thinking, is it just me as a human being? No, it's everything about you. Who are you now as a father? Who are you now as a brother? Who are you now as a husband? Who are you now as a friend? What kind of friends do you have around you? And giving you practical ways of measuring who you are now, I've got some few things you might just want to think about. What kind of people are you attracting? It's amazing that those who were your close friends when you're in primary school might not necessarily be your close friends now. Because everyone has gone different ways. And we've all been changed and shifted mentally, depending on how we grew our brains. And if you hang around some people, you struggle that you guys cannot communicate now because everyone has grown mentally differently. So you have different perspectives to life. And that's what growth is all about. You can also look at how were you last year. Last year, 2020, we had several lockdowns. We're going through the coronavirus season and we can begin to think, how has this changed me? Because the truth is there's no way you can be the same from last year to this year. And that's why we've got to add now at the back of the question, because it gives you the opportunity to weigh and to measure who you are today, here and now. How much learning have you put yourself through? Just check your thinking. And that's what makes a big difference. Because when you read a book, at the end of the book, you realize that when you started that book, to the time you finish the book, you realize that you cannot be the same person. Because you are seeing life from a different perspective. Or even just watching a video sometimes, you will learn a few things and think, oh wow. Or even just attending a course, at the end of it you'll be thinking, wow, I never saw life like this. And that is a sign of growth. So when you ask the question who you are at the beginning of that course and then who you are at the end of the course, there must be a difference because your brain, your mind has stretched and has grown. So now who you think you are has changed because how you're thinking has actually changed. I want to encourage you today. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself. And the greatest thing is we know when there's progress, there's more love. When there's growth, there's more love. And that's why in my book, The Seasons of Life, I said one of the most frustrating things is standing still when you know you should be moving. When you're constantly growing yourself, you're constantly getting excited because you're seeing all these big wins that you're getting every single time. It's always great to see movement. And movement always brings that excitement. And you begin to love yourself more. Like if you're learning a course and you're understanding the course every single time, or if you start playing a game and you're getting to learn more about it. Like I love running. And when I started running 5 kilometers, growing up to 15, growing up, even yesterday I ran 15 miles. And so yesterday morning till today, I'm a different person. Because the distance I ran yesterday is the longest I've ever ran before. So if you ask me, in your exercise regime, who are you now? So much has changed from yesterday till today. It's constant movement, constant growing yourself. And then you begin to love yourself more and more. Because obviously in your mind, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself will continually change as you're growing. And then when you ask yourself the question daily on a regular basis, who am I now? You begin to see that growth and you be amazed and you're going to fall in love with yourself more. And the more you fall in love with yourself, the more you can give to other people, as in giving love to your neighbors. So I want to encourage you as you step into the week, keep asking yourself the question, who are you? But just go one step beyond and ask again, who am I now? Stay blessed and love you all.